Ahoy, you salty sailors. Time to raise anchor and set sail for your best scrawny life. Arrgh.
You might recall an earlier video shot from Keuhn Conservation area where I pointed the drone at a large forested hillside across the river and said, "That's Pleasant Valley, maybe someday we'll have a look at that." Well, today is that day, but unfortunately it's raining.
So I decided to try and hit this window between these two storms. We're at the Pleasant Valley.
This is a state wildlife area. No one has posted any mushrooms from this area on iNaturalist.org, and there's a reason why. It is overgrown, it is dense, it is tangled, it is rough terrain with steep valleys. It's very slow going. I'll be the first amateur mycologist to post mushrooms from this area, though. And our first find is a hedgehog, Hydnum rufescens.
Nice hedgehog here.
There turned out to be quite a good population of Hydnum in that area. Cresting one of the ridges, I came upon a slope with a lot of dead oaks, though. And this kind of a worrying sign, and the light that had come through the canopy after the big trees died had allowed the underbrush to just become absolutely impenetrable. So I wasn't able to get a good look at what had happened to these oaks, but perhaps a fungal pathogen was involved. You can see these buckeyes have been struck with some sort of blight, some sort of fungal pathogen is at work there. And overall, there weren't that many big mature oaks. A lot of young hickories, but not that many oaks. I did find a few Craterellus. Here's a closer look at that one. A little better photo. A few chanterelles, but not many. I did find a ghost plant, just one. That, of course, is a hollow parasite that associates with fungal mycelium.
Monotropa uniflora, the ghost plant. Found some hedgehog mushrooms on the slopes here.
A lot of small hickories, a surprisingly large number of Hydnum, though, which is good. Those are a good edible mushroom. We'll take a little Hydnum tour here, a little hedgehog run. These, of course, are in the family Hydnaceae, so they don't have the regular paper-thin gills. They have those denticles under the cap. Here we do have some Tylopolis rubrobrunneus, no surprise, a very common bolete mushroom. Its appearance changes quite a bit as this mushroom matures, but that pinkish, fleshish color in the pore layer kind of gives it away. There we have the candle snuff fungus, the Xylaria hypoxylon. Here's a little better, a little more focused picture of what it actually looks like.
It's right at the edge where the needles will fall off of this Juniperus virginiana. We've got some yellow oyster mushrooms emerging from a fallen buckeye tree here.
I didn't get far before another storm moved into the area, and I had to turn around and make my way out.
This is almost a full rain.
it's too dark to even see it, but that's another lawnmower, pseudosensibilis. There you can see or maybe you can't see the blue stain that develops in the context of the mushroom when it's exposed to oxygen in the air. This is Lactarius argillosifolius, the clay-gilled milky. I saw several of those and several other Lactarius. There's a Laetoporus cincinnatus in the distance, but before I got there, I was again distracted by the argillosifolius. And like I said, I'm not entirely sure. That one has those lobe-forming tendencies at the margin of the cap, and sort of that fleshy purplish color. But I'm not sure if some of the other Lactarius I was seeing were just smaller forms of argillosifolius, or if some form of Samicola or something, or just what those were. But anyway, on to that Laetoporus cincinnatus. Now, of course, it has the common name is chicken of the woods, but this is the white-pored chicken of the woods, the more common in summer, whereas the yellow one is more common in spring and fall. There were a few bicolored boletes. The bugs had pretty much eaten them, completely destroyed them basically, but they had come up earlier. So some bolete action there. You can see a little better the pore layer stains. And we did find a Lexinellum rugossiceps as well. Another little hedgehog run here. A great area for the hydnum. Not surprisingly, the Keuhn area across the river is as well. There's the hickory, one of the hickory trees. There's Sebocina sparasoides. Surprisingly, quite a bit of that in there as well. And that's as far as I got in Pleasant Valley before the storms chased me out. Now, our art project is moving along rather slowly, but progress is being made. Here you can see I've used fabric glue to seal the ends and then double over the edges of this strip of canvas. I want to apply some primer, but I don't want it to wrinkle the fabric too bad. So I'm going to try to avoid that by wetting the edges with just plain water. Then we're going to add a bit of primer and then prime the middle of the canvas there. And that, it still developed some wrinkles and so forth. Some of these little wooden items that I'm making, like this little duck, the purpose of them is actually to provide some weight that will hopefully pull the wrinkles out of the canvas later on. We'll see. Like I said in an earlier video, we're just going to paint the eye and then leave the rest of that little decoy as nature, to allow nature's spalting to be shown off. So we sealed up some of the cracks, and we're given a first coat of oil on that little decoy. That is American hop hornbeam that's spalted. Or shall I say, only the sapwood spalted, the hardwood didn't really spalt. Now, by the time I had reached Keuhn Conservation area, because although it's a short distance as the crow flies, it's a rather longer distance to get there by car. I did check out the Keuhn area that same day. The Keuhn area has larger oak trees, big mature oaks, and as such, there's a lot more chanterelles there. And I did find a mossy patch in the woods there at Keuhn, which had several craterellus in there. So those mossy patches in the woods are just gold mines of all sorts of fungal activity. And right at the edge of this one, I found Oreoboletus rosellii. I've only seen this mushroom once before. I'm the only person in Iowa to have posted this mushroom on iNat. And this, I've gotten much clearer pictures than the original one that I took earlier now, so I'll post those soon. There's just your common funnel in the moss. Some Hydnellum, interesting looking Hydnellum, not sure about the species on that. And a bunch of, there you can see the little denticles where that gives the genus its name. And there you can see the jelly babies, some giant trophy-sized jelly babies in there. Always a fun little mushroom to find. I mean, if you just drill down into those mossy areas, it just gets weirder and weirder as you get smaller and smaller. There's just all sorts of strange things. Like, what even is that? I don't know. I did find, I think, one of those, another one of those gill boletes in that little patch too. Now here, overlooking this forest stream, we have an Amanita. I think maybe Amanita abrupta, due to the large size of that basal bulb. But it could be one of the other Amanita as well. Kind of a distinctive partial veil as well, annulus. But yeah, look at the size of that basal bulb. Quite interesting. And of course there's plenty of hedgehog mushroom, plenty of hydnum in the Keuhn area as well. If you want to see the denticles, there are the denticles. Now the next day, I made my way down to Stevens State Forest, the Lucas unit. They had got a tremendous amount of rain, like 7 inches of rain or something, in just a few hours.
Like it was, you can see there was water right up to the bottom of the bridge, maybe even higher. It may have actually been over the road.
Unfortunately, as soon as I stepped out of the car, an absolute cloud of mosquitoes descended and chased me out of the Lucas unit. So I went over to the Cedar Creek unit, and there you can see that it's actually quite a large area. It's sort of a patchwork, but right there you can see that large forest is the Cedar Creek unit. A real mix of trees in there. Here are tulip poplars and a big stand of pines as well. And in those pines, some Swillus americanus were coming up. Slippery jacks is the common name. There you can see the glutinous, sticky nature of the top of the cap. I did find a Rhodotus palmatus in there too. A mossy patch on a north-facing slope had some Craterellus and Lactifluus and so forth. A few chanterelles. And again, a lot of hydnum, a lot of hedgehog mushrooms. I was hoping to find more boletes, but it seems like I was a little late to find the main flush of the boletes. The ones I did find were older and had been destroyed by the bugs, basically. Surprisingly, there was quite a few of these Lactifluus hygrophoroides as well. The Lactifluus looks like a hygrophorus. There's a closer look at that gill spacing of the hygrophoroides. There were some boletes, as I mentioned. There's a bicolor bolete that has pretty much been completely destroyed by the bugs, and that was basically the case all over. I think then that sawing action with the knife drags a little bit of the stain up from the pore layer, but there is some variability. That's why I'm calling it the Beringia bicolor complex. Maybe they crossbreed with Lawnmoa pseudosensibilis too. I'm not real sure. And there were a few Strobilomyces in there as well as some wrinkled cap Lexinum. Lexinellum ragaciceps. So that'll wrap it up for this video. We'll see you on the next one.